A 215-pound Cane Corso was returned to the shelter 4 times, every family with the same complaint. He would not leave anyone alone. He followed people from room to room, pressed against them, refused to settle, and 4 homes decided a 215-pound dog who would not give them a moment of space was too much to live with. Titus sat in a shelter outside Portland, Oregon for 96 days between returns, labeled clingy, difficult, and unadoptable. Then a 29-year-old woman everyone in her own life had quietly given up on took Titus home. And what that dog was actually doing, the thing 4 families had mistaken for a flaw, turned out to be the reason she is still alive. Rachel Bauer was 29 and had epilepsy that had taken over her life one loss at a time. At 26, she lost her driver's license after a seizure behind the wheel. At 28, she lost a job when the seizures got unpredictable. A relationship ended because, the person said, they could not handle the fear of it. One by one, the people in her life drifted away from the woman who might collapse without warning, and she ended up alone in a small apartment in Portland, managing a condition that frightened everyone around her until they left. She was not looking for a dog. She was looking, honestly, for any reason at all to feel less alone. I still see you haven't subscribed. Titus was returned 4 times for the one thing that turned out to matter most, and in a minute, you'll see what it was. Tap subscribe first. She went to the shelter on a gray afternoon, and a volunteer warned her about the big Cane Corso in the back that had been returned 4 times. He's sweet, the volunteer said, but impossible after 4 returns. He will not leave you alone for a second. Nobody can live with it. Rachel walked to Kennel 8 anyway, and the 215-pound Titus came to the gate, pressed his huge head against her, and would not stop leaning into her, as if he already knew what she had not told him. Rachel, left by everyone because of a condition, looked at a dog left by everyone because he refused to leave. She signed the papers. His name was Titus. For the first 2 weeks, Titus followed Rachel everywhere: kitchen, bathroom, pressed against her on the couch, slept against her side at night, never more than 3 feet from her. And Rachel, unlike the 4 families before her, did not find it suffocating. She found it, for the first time in years, like being cared for at last. But within 2 weeks, she noticed something else. Titus would sometimes grow agitated for no reason she could see, whining, pushing at her, refusing to let her stand or move away. And then, 2 or 3 minutes later, a seizure would come, every single time. Titus was not clingy. Titus could sense her seizures before they happened, sometimes 5 minutes before, sometimes 10. And the thing 4 families had returned him for was him trying over and over to warn people he loved about a danger they could not feel coming. If you have ever been loved for the exact thing the world called too much, you already know what this felt like. Once Rachel understood, everything changed. When Titus grew agitated, she got to the floor, away from anything she could hit, and waited, and the seizure came. And Titus was there through all of it, 215 pounds of warm anchor pressed against her, keeping her safe until it passed. Titus had been trying to do this his whole life, for 4 families who sent him away for it. Now, finally, one person had understood what he was saying. But the day that mattered most came on a warm afternoon in July. Rachel was alone, standing at the top of the 14 stairs down to the building's front door, when Titus suddenly threw himself against her legs, hard, shoving her back from the edge, refusing to let her take another step. She did not understand, and then, a heartbeat later, she did, as the aura hit and she felt the seizure coming. If Titus had not shoved her back in that exact moment, she would have seized and fallen down a full flight of stairs. Instead, she went down safely against the wall, with 215 pounds of Titus between her and the drop, held there through the whole seizure, exactly where 4 families had refused to let him be. The same 215-pound Cane Corso that 4 families returned. The same dog labeled clingy and difficult and impossible, the one nobody wanted. The same dog everyone called impossible. He was not too much. Titus had spent his whole life trying to warn the people he loved about something they could not sense coming, and being punished for it, returned again and again until he found the one person whose life depended on the exact thing everyone else had thrown him away for. Titus saved her because he refused to leave, the very refusal that had made him unadoptable. Rachel told their story to an epilepsy support group online, and it spread far past Portland because so many people knew what it was to be left over something they could not control. The shelter was flooded with people asking about the difficult dogs, the returned ones, the ones with a habit nobody understood. 5 dogs that had been sent back more than once found homes in the 2 weeks after it spread. Today, 3 years on, Rachel has her life back and a service dog vest for the dog who was doing the job long before anyone gave him the title. And Titus is still at her side every hour of every day, exactly where he always insisted on being. And every day, a 215-pound Cane Corso still refuses to leave the side of the one person who finally understood that his greatest flaw was the thing that would save her. Because as far as Titus is concerned, never leaving the woman everyone else gave up on is the whole reason he was born. We look at a dog who loves too hard and asks too much, and we call it a problem, and we send him back. We never ask whether the thing we cannot live with might be the exact thing someone else cannot live without. Sometimes the dog nobody wanted was only ever trying to save a life no one had given him yet. So tell me, did Rachel rescue Titus, or did the dog everyone returned finally find the one person he was always meant to protect? Drop your answer in the comments, and if a dog was ever loved for the very thing others called too much, say his name below.